Now your hosts, Ryan Kane and Zach Daughtry.
Good evening, barbecue family, and welcome to another episode of Midwest Backyard Matters, proudly presented by Man Meat BBQ. Whether you are out on the driveway, in the backyard, or out on the KCBS competition trail, always remember that backyard matters. As usual, I'm joined with my partner and co-host, Ryan Kane from Damn Fine Beef and Swine. What's going on, Ryan?
Not too much, buddy. How are you? It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's been going pretty good. Like I said, just getting ready for BBQ this weekend, and we got to go pick up chicken here next couple of days, get that trimmed up. We've got about ribs yesterday at American Fire, and I've got those defrosting right now, and I got to trim those up here probably tomorrow or Wednesday, and just get ready for the last competition of the season for us.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. We trimmed as much meat as I could yesterday. Managed to get through 12 slabs of ribs and 8 pork butts, but I still got to trim 2 briskets and go buy chicken. So, but no, it'll be a good contest. I loved BBQ last year, and I've been looking forward to it all year. So it should be a good time. Looking forward to you guys being there as well.
Yeah, we're not doing the doubles, so we're just doing day one. I think day one's got like 19 teams in it. It's actually going to be a really motley crew of teams in that one, really good teams in that one. Joey and Drew and Alan are coming down from Minnesota. Hess is going to be there. Hess is actually staying with us that weekend to cook it. You're going to have Devin, you're going to have Robert, you're going to have, I think Melissa Schrock is going to be in that one. That'll be really cool because I don't know if that's her first sanctioned competition or what.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good field. And like I said, and we're just not doing day two. I know I think last time I talked to Devin, there was going to be 12 for day 2. So just try to go out strong, bounce back from our day 2 in Tahlequah, and just finish out the season strong, and then go in the off season and get prepared for 23.
There you go. Yeah, no, it should be a good time. And honestly, I mean, if you just look at the numbers for day 1 and then the fact that there is a day 2 this year, that means growth in the backyard. So looks like something somebody's doing is working out pretty well.
Yeah, we're hearing some talk. I won't go into too much detail about it, the introduction of a possible KC metro area backyard circuit, not a separate from KCBS circuit, but a series of competitions just in the KC metro. And I'm hearing between 12 and 13. Nothing set in stone. That would be a great thing if it did happen, but I just don't know if it's going to happen yet. But yeah, I think you're right. We are seeing some upticks in backyard participation in the Midwest, and that was yours and I's goal when we started all this, was to see increased participation in comp barbecue on the backyard trail in the Midwest, and I think we're seeing that.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, that'll be really cool if they can get something, established year to year as far as contests around here for the backyard, because I mean, there's got to be enough teams to come cook them once you get it established. So that should be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing like it would be like 12 comps minimum, and then there would be a 13th competition that would be comprised of the GCs and RGCs of those 12 prior competitions. So it would be, that invitational to round out, kind of like what they're doing with the Johnny Triggs shootout in Texas. It would be just KC metro area teams, or at least competitions that would be in the metro area. So that would be great for us to not have to, think about traveling to Iowa or Illinois or out of state. We could just stay around Smithville or, as close to Smithville as possible and compete a lot. Because I know we're trying to get locked into 10 minimum, but I would like to do more if we can.
Yeah, and I know that was that was the biggest thing when I switched over to the Master Series was, I mean, obviously the cost had increased just based on everything, but our travel was dramatically down. The furthest we've gone this whole year so far has been either 3 hours to Wichita or 3 hours to Omaha. So, I mean, just being able to remove one little cost is, just the gas cost alone makes it easier to go out and cook one extra contest or 2 extra contests. So, yeah, I think that'd be great for you guys.
We're definitely not going to do well. Okay, I don't know what KCBS is going to do with steak. I know that that's not going to be our primary concentration. But sorry about that. But we are talking about the backyard royal. That is that Katie and I are going to cook separate. So she's going to do steak and I'm going to do barbecue.
Okay.
So that'll be kind of a cool thing to see how she does on her own at the state comp there. And that's assuming that they do it. And I have all reasons to expect that they will. And then we can finally transition over to doing strictly barbecue in the competition season. So I know she's looking forward to that. I know she wants to try her hand at it. So that'll be a cool thing for her to do to kick off our season in March of next year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So should we get into a couple recaps then?
Yeah, absolutely. So since we took off last week, we want to recap on the competitions that happened last weekend. And the first one was the Maryland State Barbecue Bash in Bel Air, Maryland. And winning the grand championship in Maryland was Ham Squad, reserve grand champion Sticky Bones Barbecue. Third overall was Bourbon and Blues Barbecue. 4, Mispillion Meatworks. 5th, Weber's Backyard Barbecue. 6th, Alchemy Barbecue. 7th, Captain Blue Barbecue. 8, Zoning Q. 9, Small Batch Barbecue. And rounding out your top 10 was Bill's Backyard at the Maryland State Barbecue Bash.
Next up, Best of the Midwest Barbecue in Union Grove, Wisconsin. Coming in first was Smoke, Fire, and Brew. Loose Cannon BBQ in second. Our buddy Weeze's Groovin' BBQ in third. BBQ Mike in 4. Schmack Q in 5. Ryu Q, and I apologize if I said that wrong, in 6th. Smoke Staff in 7. Smokin' Your Butt Gang in 8. KP2 BBQ in 9. And rounding out the top 10 was Behemoth Barbecue.
We also had day one. We had the Bringing Home the Bacon double up in West Salem, Wisconsin, put on by Lori Tweeten. Coming in with the grand championship on day one, Sensuous Barbecue. Reserve grand champion, Smoky GQ Barbecue Team. Third, Dogs Barbecue. Joey Lee and Drew Wilson with Furlong Smoking Seafood taking home 4th overall on day one. 5th, Big Racks Barbecue. 6th, Big Tin Bones. Alan Larimore and Wrecking Crew Barbecue 7th. Fender Bender Barbecue 8th. Dad Bod Barbecue 9th. And rounding out your top 10, the Canfields with Pity Q in your top 10 on day one of Bringing Home the Bacon.
Day 2, Bringing Home the Bacon. Weeze's Groovin' came in first. Wrecking Crew in second. Sensuous BBQ in third. Dogs BBQ in 4. Pity Q 5. Smoky GQ Barbecue Team in 6. Furlong Smoking Seafood in 7. Dad Bod Barbecue in 8. Hoochie Q in 9. And Marty Party BBQ rounding out the top 10.
Last weekend, we had Barbecue with a View down in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and winning the grand champion there was Rammer Jammer Barbecue. Winning the reserve grand championship, Norala Barbecue Team. 3rd, Hickory Hangover. 4th, Smoky Bees Barbecue. 5th, Leela Q. 6th, The Real Squeal. 7th, Flaps Up. 8th, Bentley Q. 9, Hell on Squeals. And rounding out your top 10 in Vicksburg, Rib Life.
Red, White, and Q day 1. The GC was Brewski's BBQ competition team. Ham Squad in 2nd. Piggy and Swine BBQ in 3rd. Mispillion Meatworks 4th. Weber's Backyard Barbecue in 5th. Golden Blue Barbecue in 6th. Captain Blue Barbecue in 7. Tasker's Barbecue Supply in 8. The Fat is Where It's At in 9. And Kane's BBQ in 10.
Day 2 of Red, White, and Q in Jackson, New Jersey, we had the Mispillion Meatworks winning the grand championship. Travis Murphy with Golden Blue Barbecue winning the reserve grand championship. Tasker's Barbecue Supply 3rd. Sticks and Stones 4th. Brewski's Barbecue 5th. The Fat is Where It's At 6th. Weber's Backyard Barbecue 7th. Kane's Barbecue 8th. Piggy and Swine, number 9, and rounding out your top 10 was Big Butt Guys Barbecue.
I like that. So I don't know if you noticed this on all those lists. Did you see the team counts? Like they're all, 15 to 20 plus. And that is super awesome to see. And I hope that it's even larger next year.
Yeah, so I talked to Hess. I talked to Josh Hess on Saturday night after he wrapped up in Vicksburg. He was 11th overall. He did win Wild Child, um, and he said it was a great time. That's a really cool contest because they have it. I mean, like how Memphis in May traditionally has it right on the Mississippi River. Vicksburg has it right on the Mississippi there, and he said it was a great time. That he won it last year and still did respectably good this year. And he was really talking about Backyard Matters down there in the Deep South, and we really appreciate him, spreading the word with the Southern guys of what we're trying to accomplish here in the Midwest.
That's awesome. Well, let's go ahead and bring on our guest for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
The man that needs no introduction, but he'll still get one.
Yeah, so joining us is the head cook of Tebo Creek BBQ and the owner and operator of American Fire BBQ, Greg Hastie. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing good, man.
Good, man. Thanks for being here.
It's good to hear Tebo Creek BBQ. We changed our name to American Fire BBQ this year. Becky and I did, and it's actually kind of odd. We heard it called a couple times this fall, and we literally got caught sitting in our chairs. We actually didn't know who they were talking about. So we've been used to Tebo Creek, and we love it, and it's hard to get used to the new name, but that's what we're doing now. So how's
Greg,
everybody?
do you want to kind of tell us the history of Tebo Creek and how you guys got started?
Yeah, I guess I can. Yeah. We started back in 2015, so this is year number 8. We opened the store last year, so the last 2 years we really haven't gotten to cook much, right? The store's been the priority. Years prior to that, Becky and I have been out cooking, doing 25 weekends a year. I hate doubles, so it's actually weekends, not contests. So we got kind of tired, but we opened the store and it was time to slow down a little bit. We miss it. We wish we were out there, but how we got started in 2015, literally, there's kind of a long story, but I'll shorten it up. I was really, really, really fat. I was over 400 pounds back in 2012, 13, or actually before that. And I'd kind of gone on some diets, and there's a diet that I went on that's a medical fast. I did it many years ago in my 20s and lost a lot of weight where I didn't eat food. I literally didn't eat food for 8.5 months, nothing but liquid shakes. And I just got obsessed with the Food Network, got obsessed with TV, food, and everything while I'm drinking shakes. Lost a lot of weight, did well with it, but I got hooked on the Food Network, a lot of food shows, but then ran across, I think like everyone has in a lot of ways, the Barbecue Pitmaster show. And so I guess I'm kind of a child of that Barbecue Pitmaster show that came along late into it, right? I was obsessed with it, ran every season. And as I lost weight, I started racing motorcycles. I was racing vintage motocross with my brothers and a big group that we raced with, and we'd race once a month. And I got hurt every single year. And about the third year in 2014, my leg finally gave out. I lost my knee, lost my shoulder, lost everything, and ended up having surgery. And I had been in the best shape in a long time in my life, since back in college, and I was doing good. And my brothers are making fun of me, and I'm like, man, I'm hanging this up. I can't keep doing this racing shit. It's killing me. But they asked me, well, what are you going to do? You got a toy hauler, you got all this stuff, and I had obsessed with the barbecue show. I said, I'm going to go do competition barbecue. And literally they laughed me out of the room. And I did have surgery and went to the American Royal in 2014 and took on the whole experience. I was down at the American Royal. I did the judging class on Wednesday. Barbecue radio, Central Radio Show had done a Hog with a Heart with OBR. It was a raffle for a class. And I signed up and I won that raffle. So I got to go to a class on Thursday and spend all day with Boar's Night Out, The Shed, Sweet Swine of Mine, and Grillas, the owner of Memphis Barbecue Company back then. So I spent the whole day with them. And Sunday, I spent the whole weekend at the Royal, and I bought my first Fast Eddie FEC 100. and it was on after that. We won a backyard homeowner association competition down at my lake property. It had like 30 teams, and we took every category but ribs and stole all the money. And me and a friend, Kevin Latham, and I were just hooked. You know, it was what it was. So come out the new year in 2015 and took a class with Rod Gray and Jason Ganal out of GQ BBQ in Colorado. And was just trying to find the time to get out and do a contest. And finally in May of 2015, I just said, screw it. If we're going to do it, just jump in and let's do it. So we did it. We reserved grand. This is probably how it got to be a stupid hobby. We reserved grand our first contest out, which doesn't happen. It's a cautionary tale. Where I planned on doing 2 or 3 contests that year, we ended up doing 9. And man, we were hooked from 2015 on. I think Becky and I've done in really 5 years, I guess, maybe 6. We've done 130 plus competitions. So that's the long story of it. That's how we got started. A whole bunch of events in life that sent me to it, and then we just found great people. So we ultimately, had lake property and all that. We just traded lake life for a barbecue life, right? That's how it's gone. So anyway, boring story, but that's what it is.
So how cool is it, Greg, to, not only to have success in competition barbecue yourself, but to have a son get involved in comp barbecue, and then on top of that, to have a son get involved and have success in competition barbecue in his own right?
Oh, it's really cool. It has everything to do with me, for sure, his success. I've taught him everything he knows. And I'm literally just kidding. Although he gives me no credit, I'm going to take a little bit. I'm still just kidding. No, it's great. COVID came along and kind of hit us all in a weird way, right? And, I had been thinking about something with Devin and doing a restaurant, right? I knew he was wanting to get out, and maybe he loves food. He was wanting to get started in something, and we were thinking about doing a restaurant. And I had been searching for one in January and February of COVID. And we were actually thinking about a trade cut, food truck or a trailer, and starting to build the brand and start to really kind of get our feet wet. I did have a line on a restaurant, which I still kind of do, and I may go back to it. But when COVID hit in March, as we started to build that trailer and maybe something we were going to part-time as much as we could to build the brand, COVID hit, right? And man, it just knocked us back. And I said, well, we ain't doing that right now. I just kept thinking about, I wanted to do something, and sitting around bored to death during COVID and kind of burning out in IT, which is what I'd done forever. I really started thinking about it. I'd always planned on doing a restaurant and doing a satellite store in Belton or somewhere on the Missouri side, South Kansas City. Just because I felt like we needed a store on the Missouri side, a good professional store on the Missouri side. The hope being that I get the restaurant started, have a little satellite store next to the restaurant or near it, much like Joe's has done, Kansas City. And then one day open a big store in Lee Summit. I always felt like Lee Summit would be the first jumping off spot. Aaron Stauffer's a good friend of ours from Man Meat BBQ, and he and I just literally talked every single day during COVID. And we'd wear each other out on the phone, and we kept talking. And sometime in May, June, he mentioned, well, why don't you just open the store, skip the restaurant, go straight to the store. Let's get, and I thought about it, and man, we talked so much about it, and we got with Aaron Bordage up north and talked to him, and just so much about it made sense. The restaurant didn't make sense at the time, but the store did. And if I'm going to go for it, I'm just going to go for it. And that's what I did. So I asked Devin, hey, if I do this, are you in? Can you help me run this store? Can we do this together? And he was all about it, right? He's wanted to be a part of something bigger and have a better feeling about himself in his job and his work. What better opportunity we can have with each other to work with your son every day. You know, I probably can't work with Becky every day, but I could probably work with Devin every day. So sorry, but she knows it's true. So she's hard to get along with. She really is. But we decided to go down this road, and man, I remember a video I watched of Steve Harvey years ago. It's one that he shot outside of taping, and it was talking about jumping off the cliff. And I don't know if you've ever seen it. There's a great YouTube video. Look it up. Steve Harvey's a comedian, but he said a bunch of things that just hit home. It was about taking that leap, getting on that cliff. And for my whole life, I've wanted to own a business, run a business, do something. It felt like I could do a little bit more. And, you know, I was really kind of tired of working at places that they owned me, you know, and that kind of hit home a couple years before that. And man, it was time to take that leap, and God help me, at the stupidest time in the world, right during COVID, I took that leap and said, I'm all in, the hell with it. I'm young enough that I got time that if I screw this up, you know, I can go back to IT. Everybody's hiring for those. So, so it's good. And I love that Devin jumped in and he learned and he listened, and he's just really taken on his own passion for barbecue. And really, to be honest with you, early in the spring and the winter when we were bored, you know, we had one of Aaron's cans. I said, go home and cook some chicken. This is kind of the joke. I know it's been said on here. He says, well, what am I going to do? I said, go beat Ryan Kane. And he's like, what? I said, well, he's the dude. Go beat him. There's other great ones out there, but he's the dude. I said, Ryan's out there. If we can match him, then you can go. And literally, he took a couple nods at a couple things, and he took that can home, and he literally was practicing chicken one weekend, and then chicken again, and then chicken again, until he kind of got it mastered. And I think he's like me and like a lot of us that are in barbecue, right? There's an attention to detail we give to a process, right, and the things we do. And then he took on ribs and then went after ribs, and it's great. It feels good to see him have the success, because I bet you I was probably more nervous. Why? Like, he went out to the American Royal in March and won chicken. Oh, Jesus, I was probably happier for him than he probably understood he needed to be. And then to continue to want to chase it, I wish he had more time to really bounce around and go chase it the way he should have or could have. But, you know, it comes back down to we both have a store. Devin's an owner, I'm an owner, and that's our priority. And I love the success he's having. I've taken a back seat to cooking so that he can, right? That's kind of been my spot this year. My role this year is to let him get out and go sow his oats the way he wants to.
I think it's anybody that knows you or anybody that's met you knows that you're a very communicative person, right? Like, we all have the stories of spending an hour talking to Greg where he holds your car door so you can't go home. It seemed like such a natural thing for you to get to the point where you owned a store where that was your job, to talk barbecue with people and just make those connections. And I know, I mean, it's been a little over a year now, right, for American Fire so far?
Yeah. We opened May 21, Mother's Day weekend 21, so a little over a year.
I mean, I can remember the official grand opening with the party and all that, but it's crazy that it's already been a year. But it seems like it seems like an old hat, right? Like it's a perfect marriage or perfect situation for you to be able to just, talk to people all day and BS about barbecue. So it's cool.
Yeah. And it's fun in that way. Right? I mean, there's a lot of stress that goes with owning your own business. I mean, right now, it's slow. Inflation's getting us and getting everybody. I've talked to everyone. I mean, this literally might be the only month in 2022 that we haven't nearly or doubled our sales from 21. And we may not hit them this month. And that's a factor of, I think what's going on today. And, we got to hunker down where I was looking to hire someone full time and allow me to get out and start growing the business in the way I intended to all this year. But, I've said it a few times before. I've been letting the business run me, right? I've been trying to truly figure out this business. And and bring it together, are truly gutting this thing out, right? It's just he and I and Beck, and we've gotten some part-time staff this year, and Aaron, he says he fell asleep, but talking to me, he kept me up all night. That's what he did. But anyway, so I'm really just trying to, in the best way, most responsible way. This is my business, right? And I'm trying to run it without going broke or going in debt. And so we're going to keep grinding it. And I may put off that full-time person, but we're trying to jump into the next line of business and trying to do some additional things. And it's been tough, but it was natural. It was never the plan. I can tell you that. You probably weren't there very long, but being sponsored by KC Grilling Company those last couple of years before I opened the store, if you talk to the guys, Joel or DeWitt or any of them, I was in that store, once a week at least, or even sometimes on Saturday. And it wasn't intentional, but I would find myself just talking to customers. And then I might sit there. Yes, Derek, who's now working at the store, the customer out there. I literally would sit there for 4 hours on a Saturday with nothing to do in the off season and literally sell to customer. And I honest to God thought it was kind of fun. Maybe it's because I was boring, dead inside IT guy, but I actually found it fun. And so when Aaron had that idea, we almost jumped into that restaurant when Aaron said, "Hey, do the store, get it done." You're right. I appreciate you saying that. It feels like a natural fit. It really does. And we enjoy it, and we have a passion for barbecue that just grew in the last 8 years. Didn't know we had it. So,
you got any plans to expand the franchise, Greg, to go anywhere like say north of the river or anywhere else in the metro?
Yeah, I do. I did. It's kind of a sore subject right now, but not sore. I mean, business is business. I had plans for that in February. I've been looking for a space. We all know there's another store coming in town in the Zona Rosa area, or maybe we don't. I'm not thrilled with it. We weren't ready to do it, and they beat us to a punch coming from Colorado. So I still plan on it. It's not going to stop me. We're concentrating and looking really hard, Liberty area, and that's probably where we'll go. It's just hard to find good space there, but I still think it's a good fit for us. I still think we're going to do it, and I'm looking hard, trying to find the right opportunity, the right space. But in that same vein, right, this comes to the boring business shit. Just the feeling of the country, the feeling of the inflation, the feeling of the economy, it's just really contracting. It's really tight, and it has been for a while. And I have this feeling, and if you listen to most people, it's going to get really tight in 23. So it may not be the right time, right? It may not be the right time. But I promise you, North people, I'm keeping an eye out. I've talked to folks from Smithfield that come in the store, teams that come in the store, Zach included, I guess, you as well, and that are like, "No, man, we still need a store. We still need you up there." And they want us up there, and I guess that makes me proud to think that, all right, maybe we're doing something right. We're trying to be customer focused and serve all you guys the best we can. So if it can help us getting up north, 40 minutes away, that it seems like the right move, and that's what I'm going to try and do. So,
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it would be nice to only go 15 minutes. In the meantime, I will still, even after the other place opens, I'll still continue to go my 45 minutes to see you guys.
Cheers to that. I appreciate that, Zach.
And yeah, like I said, if you guys, I'm like talking with Kevin for Weekend Bum. He's a Northlander guy like me. Yeah, I mean, it always kind of struck me as odd that there wasn't with how big barbecue is in Kansas City, it's the Mecca, right? That there wasn't something north of the river, was just even in North KC. It always struck me as like, why there's got to be a market here, right?
And that was literally on my board. On my radar, on my plans. That's where we were going as soon as we could go, when it made sense. But hell, in February, still making those plans, I hadn't even really had a real spring under my belt. So I wasn't sure what the store really could do or was doing.
No, I mean, we love you guys. You guys have been so generous to us. I mean, like, we go there, we're in there once a week. We get all of our meat there. We get all of our everything there. Going to bullshit with you or Devin or, Mike Burke works there now. Like I said, no offense to KCGC and Ryan and those guys, but like I said, we go to American Fire, and like I said, we love you guys, and we'll keep going there forever.
And I truly appreciate that. And we have a good synergy now with KCGC. I always had one, right? I was sponsored there. The owner Gavin and I, and Man Meat, back in the past, we were their teams with some others, and we had a good team. We had a good team of teams, and we had a lot of good friends, all the same friends that we have to this day. And there's a lot of blood that started to spill that just didn't make sense, and it was stupid, and I wasn't a part of it. It just didn't make sense. But I think and everyone should know is that KCGC and us and Gavin and me, and we all have a great relationship. Gavin calls me occasionally, and his son comes in. Hell, his son is on my founder's wall. He's on a whiskey save on the founder's wall.
Well, and most of us at the store are on the wall too.
Absolutely, exactly. You guys are on the grand founders wall, Meat Rushmore included. It was KCGC at the time. So, what's great is the Ryan and DeWitt and Trey Zink. I love Trey, and DeWitt's always been a friend and was really integral in getting me into KCGC as it was back in the day. So, we've all just decided we never had bad blood, but we fixed that. And we've all kind of built this thing. And literally, Trey was emailing me today about contact information for someone. And I've gotten product through them, and we've shared stuff. They've sent me customers for products they don't sell. And they did it regularly all summer long, which I'm so appreciative of. And when we don't sell Green Mountains or things we don't sell, we send them back out to them. We're both, Smoking Brother, signature stores. We love the Smoking Brothers product. And now we both get to be the only exclusive stores in Kansas City that are going to sell the new Myron Mix and Barks. And then Bark Cooker was a fantastic, big high capacity cooker. And then maybe one day we get to Gravities and some of those things. So we have a great relationship with KCGC, and we were supposed to do the Royal together this year, and literally that was on me. It was going to be cool to kind of join the tent, then do the American Royal together. But man, I just, when I got an email in June that said, "Hey, we're going to grandfather you into the Invitational because, whatever reason." So all of a sudden in June, I found out I was going to be in the Invitational, and the American Royal means a lot to us all. And I just felt like I really needed to concentrate on the cook and having a party on Friday night. I knew I was going to bed. I knew I wasn't going to be there. So I just asked Gavin, "Hey, let me out of this one this year, and maybe we'll do something next year and have some fun together."
It took me a week to catch up on sleep. But, I mean, like you said, between KCGC and American Fire, we all sat together at awards. I mean, we hung out most of the weekend. It was a good time. And that's all. That's pretty much all it's been for a while now. So it's all good.
Well, yeah, no matter the store, the representations we make with the professionals that we work with, it really doesn't matter. We're all friends, right? If we all respect each other and we treat each other with respect and we're friends, that's really all that matters. And that's the only thing that matters to me. So, yeah, we've been friends for a long time, and nothing's going to change that, really. So
not to pile onto your workload, because you've got, and this was last year, but you had a brand new store, had a brand new granddaughter. You're busy starting a business, and you said, "Hey, let's start a barbecue contest at the end of the season."
Oh my God!
You want to tell us about that?
How stupid am I? I'm 54 and started a new business when I had a great job. How stupid am I? That doesn't tell you how smart I can be. Now we said, let's just pile on. We have way too much to do to run the business. Can't run it right. Not doing all I can do. And then, hey, let's throw on a contest. So BBQ was spawned last year. You know, everyone makes a joke. I did it for Joe, right? I should make a shirt. I'm doing it for Joe. That's not the case. There was a lot of people chasing last year that said, hey, we don't want to double somewhere. We want to double in town, and we want you to do one. And I thought, man, nonprofit organizations in Belton. We had 950 kids playing softball and baseball in our organization that I started. And I know I organized, baseball tournaments, softball tournaments, all kinds of things. I knew I could do it. And I thought, why not? I'll chip a little in. My contests aren't for me raising money. They're not for American Fire. We're a title sponsor. Yes. That means I donate a lot of money. I don't get paid to do it. I'm not a promoter. And I like to say that a lot, not for anything other than to know that it's a cooks contest, and everything I can give back to the cooks, I will, with the exception of one thing. I am trying to run the contest in the black. I will donate a ton of money myself, but I'm going to donate to 2 charities. We have a double. The military, our first responders are big. And, they hold a special place in my heart, and they're big. And then a cancer charity was another one. So for me, my only objective is to run this contest, run it correctly, the best way I can for the teams, and then try and make just a touch that I can donate some money. If I'm going to put it turns out a lot more hours than I thought, into a contest, my payment's going to be, I want to give money from the contest to a couple charities. So last year we picked a couple local charities, a veteran and a cancer charity. Cancer being dear to our heart too, because Angie Bowles all forked up, suffered from breast cancer. And the whole previous year to last year, she fought that fight and was in, cancer-free in remission as of last March. But we felt like we wanted to donate something in her honor. While if you remember, she was out there last year and the year before, still grinding, going through chemo, still coming out every week she could. So there's huge respect for that. And if I could raise some money and give a little back to a couple organizations, that's my goal. That's my only purpose for doing it, and helping out some friends in town that need doubles, need points, and don't have to go running off to North Carolina to do it. Right. So the same thing happened this year. It was going to be a single, and then teams legitimately were, why isn't this a double? Why isn't this a double? I need points. And ask Meat Rushmore. He wants a 1 meat pork category, which I'm not sure I know how to do or would do.
It'll just be Joel cooking it, but that's fine.
That's all. He doesn't even care. So I did it again this year for that reason, and we made it a double. But because of you guys and what you've been trying to do with Backyard, I think it's a great thing. So we had Backyard last year. I loved it. I did it for you, Ryan. It wasn't just Joe.
It was appreciated.
It was for you as well. So this year we did Backyard, and as much as it was for you and others in the beginning, kind of Devin, as he's running, but it didn't matter. I already had Backyard on there from day one before Devin kind of even was really knee deep into the thing. So now we're going to make it a Backyard double, which we've got enough teams that are committing to it. We got that over 10. We've got, I think, 17, possibly 19 for day one. And then now I think 11 or 12 for day two. Mm-hmm. I think it's great. I want to have this contest, and I want to make it something special. I'm actually going to, with the place we found in Oak Grove, the facilities we got, I want to actually talk to them, because it's the old Ben Oaks golf course, and they have all that space. I would love to talk to them about, hey, do you guys want to do a Halloween festival or an October festival out here, hay rides and bouncy houses and blah, 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 trunk or treat, they could take over and get the community involved, right? That's where it benefits me. As a title sponsor, there's no community at this thing at all. It's all teams. It doesn't really benefit me from a marketing standpoint. I hope the IRS isn't listening. But if we get them to do a community thing, and we have all these 200 acres or whatever they have, we can make this kind of a special event and actually have a band out there and do a thing. And we just have a barbecue contest on the side, and maybe start to generate. It's hard for me. I'm begging sponsors for money, and that's why I can't get to a 5K backyard or a 10K Masters. This guy just can't get the sponsor money to help get it up, other than me going broke, right? So I think there's some good ideas that we can do out there. I have to have a committee. I have to have a group of people maybe that are willing to help me. Bree has stepped up in the last couple of weeks because I'm drowning, literally. Bree from Black in and took care of the breakfast thing for me and the T-shirt thing for me. And got to ask somebody else for help. I can't even remember him. God help me. I'm sorry. But I asked somebody else for help. And, Ryan, of course. The incomparable Ryan Kane Designs. They're just the most badass designs in the barbecue world.
I have a very specific set of skills.
Exactly. As we all do. Taking it on has been a challenge. Travis Moore, Aggravation Barbecue. He ran it last year. This year, it was kind of my mistake. We needed to get it registered in December, and I registered it. So now I can't cook, but it turns out we don't need me to. I was begging for teams. It seemed like the last couple of weeks, everyone told me they're going to come. And Rod Gray, if you didn't catch it, talked about this on a Barbecue Central show this week. And it's a short rant, but a little one. Teams, we got to get signed up, and we got to get signed up early. When you know you're coming, you're coming. So sign up, register. As organizers, we can't run these contests and find out 10 days beforehand. We just don't have enough teams to break even. We don't have enough teams to do the contest, right? And then that is the gist of everyone's saying, why are so many contests canceling? Well, there's a lot of factors. There's the inflation, there's travel, there's miles, there's gas, there's blah, blah, blah. There's a whole bunch of stuff. But we've all gone out and done them. What's happening with contests, if they can't run it without going broke, especially these municipality contests, they're not allowed to lose money at Parks and Rec. So they're going to cancel the contest. Rod Gray made an example. Murfreesboro, been around for everywhere, forever. Everybody wants an apple, right? I would love to go do it one day. Murfreesboro, 10 days before the contest, had 22 teams. In the last 10 days, they got 24 more teams. I can tell you right now, I am literally dying for the last 9 days working judges every single day. As teams come in, I have to amp up judges. I had 167 judges sign up for this contest starting in February to October. I had plenty of judges for day one, right? But they've all forgot about us and done whatever. I can't confirm them. I can't bring them in. And there's no real easy way to do it, but they have lives and they've just decided not to do it or thought they were forgot about, whatever. I mean, there's a whole multitude of reasons. I probably could have been better about communicating with them, but I hate communicating with someone 90 days in advance if I think I might cancel the contest, right? And I was up to that point. So my rant is what Rod was trying to say, is we can't as teams complain about contest canceling. We can't complain about not having enough judges like Omaha. Ryan, you experienced that or saw it, and they come up judges short. Last year, we didn't have a single judge cancel out of BBQ. Same number of teams. We didn't have a single judge cancel. So our Kansas City judges are awesome in that regard. But it scares me that they won't show up. It scares me I won't have enough. We're 100% certified right now. We're going to have enough. But it has literally taken me away from my job, away from the store, to just work judges back and forth nonstop as teams come in. And that's why I have to cut it off. I can't say we're open till whenever to day one, right? I can't say we're open. I have to cut it off. We probably could get another 10 teams. Just don't know if I can get judges. And I don't want to be that contest. So I don't know. That's my rant, is as teams, we got to do better. We've got to get signed up. We got to let organizers sitting on it from this side of the fence. We got to get organizers time to get these events and plan them and get them done properly for the teams, right? It's just my take on it. And it's been eye-opening. Last year was less so. This year, more so. So it's been a lot of work. And it's been it's been frustrating. I think I'm drowning. Like I said, I've got 2 drinks. It's been one of them days and one of them months, and I'm ready to get this thing behind us. But I think we're going to have fun. I know we're going to have fun. Once we get out there, we're going to have fun. And I appreciate you, Ryan, saying that it was a great contest. All the feedback I got last year was so much fun. It was a joy to be there. It was simple, right? And that's how I've tried to keep it simple, no frills. Show up, come compete. Last year we had 7 world champions at our contest. We'll have several this year as well. So it's just cool, neat.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to competing and participating in it this year. And like I said, Ryan and some other guys, really talked it up and just seemed like a good one to end our season on. So no, we're looking forward to seeing y'all out there.
Yeah, I mean, I knew how exhausted you were at the end of it last year, but I mean, it was one of those things where the contest, to me at least, and I think everybody that was there, just based on the nature of how compacted we all were in that parking lot and stuff, it felt like a really kind of celebration community concert for everybody after what seemed like an endless season. So I mean, the Friday night potluck, all that stuff. I mean, it was so much fun to have.
That was 100% it was. And I think that was kind of the point, right? And that's the reason we did the potluck. Everyone kind of goes their own way Friday night and whatnot. We're like, man, this is the end of the year. We've all been grinding it out all year. Let's just all get together, not just the typical, groups that do whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that either, but let's just all get together and let's just enjoy this last hurrah. We're signing it off. It's the last. If you've ever been chasing points or trying to get in the top 25 or top 15, or you've got a meet that's going to fall out and, you're getting pounded on every week, from that regard, then there's a lot of stress in that, man. If you think you're going to fall out and you're not going to get that round trophy, I've been there, and the proudest trophies I have on my wall are the 3, team of the year trophies that that we got. But at the end of the year, just kind of like, this is it, right? It's going to happen this weekend or it isn't, and it's kind of over. And the potluck was huge last year. We had a lot of fun. We had great weather. This year, potluck can be inside. We have this massive field house that will actually hold all the judges that we need, plus it'll hold all the potluck that we need, all in one building at one time. And we're going to keep it intimate and nice again, together. We're going to be shoved in a parking lot. It's going to be tight. That's what I'm stressing over, and I'll be up for 4 hours tonight doing layouts. But the potluck's going to be really cool. And if you haven't signed up or you haven't asked or given information to Dan Bowles at All Forked Up, please do. And please, be a part of it. Also, just this year, just so you know, we've invited the judges. So all the judges that are a part of the contest, and even some that aren't, Dan and I, we've decided, hey, let's get them invited. Let's make them a part of it too, and let them come out and kind of join us. And I'm not sure how many we have, but I think there's definitely several, a few. I don't know. Let's wind this thing up. Let's kick this off in Kansas City the way it's supposed to be done. Definitely if you're winning, you're coming through Kansas City for the most part. And I don't know. I'm ready for it to be over with, but Ryan, I think you kind of said it. Just the feeling, the atmosphere. Once we get there, right, we're settled in and we know it's the last one for now. And, on a 22 year, that's been a struggle for everyone. And I think we'll all cut loose and we'll have fun. So that's 100%. why I'm putting the work in. So y'all better have fun.
Well, Greg, we're probably gonna let you run here. You got anything you want to leave the audience with before we let you get off here tonight? No. I mean, barbecue's fun, right? That's what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have a good time, and when the grind gets to be too much that you're not enjoying it, stop. Take a new outlook. Refresh yourself and say, man, this has got to be fun, and I've got to make it fun. So reboot,
get out there and have fun. And 2023 is we get past this one, 2023. We'll see what it holds. But I think, Rod Gray being in place, he understands teams. He understands what we need to do. Let's keep growing the backyard, no matter what that's going to look like from KCBS, if it's backyard or something maybe different. I don't know, but let's keep growing it, right? Let's have this building of our future in KCBS. But let's hold KCBS accountable to the things they need to do and do right? Let's not be silent in the things that maybe we think they need to do different. Rod, I think, will be open to listening to him. He's new. He's kind of drowning too, but we need to give him a chance to maybe get back to barbecue centrist, right? Partnership, and kind of start bringing barbecue back to glory, get us off this kind of slide we've been in a little bit. It's still great, but I just think we can make it better. And let's give Rod the support. If you don't know him, he's a great guy. He's my first real run into this with his class in a big way, and always having his support and being able to talk to him. He's a good man, a smart man, and he can help make things better. He can drive this ship in a way that I think it needs to go. So he's got my full support, and we're behind him, and we'll help him every way we can. And I would ask everyone else to give him that chance as well.
For sure. Well, Greg, thanks so much for coming on.
Does anybody have a shot? I'm probably the only one. So anyone where this is recording, Ryan, you know what to do. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Get it.
Get it.
Hey, guys, I appreciate you having me on.
No, thank you, Greg. And I said,
thanks,
Greg, so much for supporting the show and what we're trying to do here in the Midwest with Backyard.
100%. I'm here for you guys if you need it. Just pick up the phone and call me.
Appreciate it. If you want to have a good conversation, go into American Fire. He'll talk your ear off.
It's not always that bad. As long as you're listening.
I mean that in the best possible way.
No, I mean, as long as you're listening, I'll be talking. We'll see you guys. I appreciate you.
Go see you this week.
Yep, see you this weekend, man. Yeah, you don't always have people like that you can turn to. And honestly, Greg has been a huge resource for me and for so many people around Kansas City for barbecue. So you can't say enough good things about him. And wish him all the success in the world with American Fire. And honestly, guys, if you've not signed up for BBQ this year, put that on your calendar for next year, because it really probably was one of the most memorable contests we cooked last year. And it's the one I've been looking forward to the most this year. And that's above the Invitational and right on par with the Royal for me. So I hope you'll all give it a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. No, like I said, special thanks to Greg and to Becky and Devin for sponsoring the show and being big supporters of us, making our real attempt here to grow the backyard circuit in the Midwest.
Absolutely, man. Well, I guess I will see you this weekend, buddy.
Yeah, we'll be good. I'll be out there Friday, probably early afternoon. Get loaded in. Like I said, I think Hess is meeting me out there, and then like I said, he's staying with us this weekend because, like I said, he's doing the double. And
are you guys driving home at the end of each night, or are you staying out there Friday night?
So we're gonna come home after we get set up on Friday. Well, we'll probably hang out for like the potluck. And then we'll come back, and then Hess is staying here at our house, and then we'll be out there ass crack of dawn on Saturday, all three of us.
Yeah.
Charlie's not coming with us. And then he'll be back out there on Sunday morning for the double. He wanted to know if I wanted to come and hang out with him, but I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not. So, but yeah, for sure we'll be there Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, don't miss that potluck. Just think about literally 40 to 50 people who can cook, and they're all cooking the thing that they want to eat. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's seriously the best potluck I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah, no, I have. I've got no doubts. Well, you got anything to leave the people off with before we get off here?
Well, if you've been a team chasing points for the whole season, I hope this last weekend is as fruitful as you need it to be. I hope it's been a great season for everybody. Good luck in this last weekend of contests. If you are done for the year, I hope everything was great. If you're going to the Invitational in a few weeks, we hope to see you there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, everybody, I think this has been another great episode of Midwest Backyard Matters, proudly presented by Man Meat BBQ. Whether you are out on the driveway, in the backyard, or out on the competition trail, always remember that backyard matters. Have a good night, everybody.
Midwest Backyard Matters, brought to you by Man Meat BBQ. Additional sponsors: American Fire BBQ and Grilling Supply, Sofa King Awesome BBQ, Trauma Hogs BBQ, and Hunsaker Smokers.